Hi guys, it's Amy. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. It's nice to be able to express myself and tell my stories and just be weird or whatever. It's story time. So, a couple weeks ago I was super manic. I hadn't slept in like over a week. Hold on, let me just get comfortable here. So anywho, super manic. All of a sudden I started getting Facebook requests from like tons of people all over the world. And I was clicking add friend, and just adding people. And so I would FaceTime with strangers all over the world. Some of them were really weird and they just didn't say anything. They just stared at me and I'm like, oh, what country are you in? Berlin? Where are you? And they would just stare at me. And then, so there was this Indian guy. And I answered, and I'm like, hi, where are you from? And he's like, India, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. He's like, do you know any other languages? And I'm like, a little bit of Spanish. And he's like, teach me some Spanish. So I'm like, okay. Hola means hello. Say hola. And he's like, hola. I was like, good. ¿Cómo estás? Means, how are you? And so he says, ¿Cómo estás? And I'm like, great. And then I think I taught him, te amo, means I love you. And then he's like, okay, that's enough. Now my language, I was like, so how do you say hi in your language? And he's like, and I'm just like, oh, what? And he's like, and I'm like, okay, I'm never going to learn that language. Nope. And then he's like, are you married? I'm like, yeah, actually I am married. I have a really great husband. And he's like, I love married women. And I'm like, cool. And he's like, can I see your pussy and boobs? Like he wanted to see me naked. And I'm like, well, I actually sell my Polaroids. They're like half naked. And I can ship it to you for $50. Just send me, what's your address? And he's like, well, show me your pussy and boobs first. And I'm like, no, send me money first. And he's like, show me your pussy and boobs first. And I'm like, no. And he's like, show me your pussy and boobs first. And I'm like, okay. So I get undressed. And he calls me back on FaceTime. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. And he's like, okay. Show me your boobs. And I'm like, let's try and get this lighting a little. Oh, fuck. I'm fucking up my first YouTube video. Anyway, so I take the phone and I'm just like, kind of just like, okay. And he's like, okay, now show me your pussy. I'm like, fucking here we go. So I take my leg and I prop it up on the toilet like so. And I'm just like, oh, Lord have mercy, here we go. Open your pussy. I'm just like, fucking, God, please help me. And I'm like, all right, spread them. Okay, now what's your address? And then he like hung up on me. And he immediately sent me a screenshot of like my face and he's like spreading my vagina and I'm like, oh my God. He's like, send me $100 or I post on the internet. And I was like, you can't fucking do that. That's called blackmail, bro. And I'll call the authorities right away. Well, I learned a valuable lesson that day. Fool me once and only once because they can do that shit in their country. Here, they can't. But they're in India, so. Yeah. Good time. So if you see me on like Pornhub or any, like, I don't know if you explore those sites, you probably do. I don't. But don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. Just know that it was an accident. Okay? Have a blessed day.